All right, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about what's in my portfolio going into 2025. Now, a little bit of background about me before I get started. I started investing in 2017 when my wife introduced me to the concept of investing. Now, it's been a long ways removed from that point, and since then I've invested in real estate, in stocks, in crypto. I've done private equity. I've done many forms of investing, and I think this point in my investment journey is very critical. So I'm about to share what I have in my portfolio going into 2025. And so I think this will be an interesting one. I haven't done a video like this before, so I hope you like it, and we'll see how it goes. So let's get started here. Before I share anything, I want to do an open invite to our investment community. You can join us at any time, and we talk about investing, share tips, share videos, share resources, all to help you to become better as an investor. So the idea is that you can learn how to invest, grow in community, and invest with confidence, right? So that's the general idea here. And of course, because of the type of video, I definitely have to share a disclaimer here. So anything that I share here is for discussion, education, entertainment, and illustrative purposes only, and should not be construed as professional financial advice, solicitation, or recommendation to buy or sell any securities. The comments here are cracking me up, right? So I'm gonna try not to even. I'm trying not to look at the comments until I'm done. But before I get started, I'm going to ask you, as usual, what's in your portfolio? Let me know, are you invested in stocks? Are you invested in real estate? Are you invested in crypto? Have you done any private equity transactions? Let me know. So share, just give me an idea. Don't tell me the assets themselves, right? Don't tell me the name. So let me know, and I'll check those out around the break. All right. So here's how we're going to do this video. I'm going to start with my investment strategy. Now, how I've invested for the last few years, my goal is to build 7 or 8 income streams. As at the point of this video, I have 3, right? So I'm almost halfway to my goal of 8 streams of income. So I have my 9-to-5 income. I have my income from LGI, which is a company that I have with my wife. And I'm actually a LinkedIn instructor, so I get income every month for having a LinkedIn course, right? So those are my 3 streams of income now. So my goal is to get that to 7 or 8, right? And this is actually a biblical concept that I'll explain at some other point, but the goal is to get to 7 or 8. Now, how I invest now, all of the assets that I'll share, it all starts with stocks. It's the lowest barrier of entry. I can invest with a small amount of money. Once that gets to a certain amount, now I have a number in mind that once my portfolio passes that value, I look at the excess and I try to repurpose that, whether into crypto or real estate or into my own company or into other companies. But I try to maintain a certain level of a certain value of portfolio because that makes my dividends predictable. I invest for a certain amount of cap gains each year, and that just kind of makes it flexible for me. So I have a portfolio that I'm comfortable with, and everything just kind of feeds from there. I do rebalance my portfolio once per year. So fortunately, just this month, I was able to take profits from my portfolio. So the rebalance kind of worked out, right? So I was able to take some profit from one of my largest holdings that's now sitting in my account. Some of it as cash, some of it was reinvested. And so rebalancing is a concept I started a few years ago. It works for me. When I pick my stocks at the start of the year, if it's not working out within the timeline that I have, I'll sell those even at a loss and then just keep it in cash and look to something else, right? So I have short-term stocks that I give 6 to 12 months or maybe a little longer If they're not performing the way that I expect, I take a loss and move on. Or if I'm in profit, but not the amount of profit that I'm hoping for, I'll still take that profit and move on, right? And then, of course, this process should leave me with profits that go into my long-term positions, whether real estate or other things, right? So hopefully that makes some sense. So let me start here with my portfolio, right? So this is my investment portfolio. Now I have assets outside of this, but these are my investments, right? So I'll share something on the very next slide. This does not include real estate at this point because I had one investment property which I sold. I'll share more details on the next slide, but this is a makeup so far. So as usual, I'm going to give you my community a chance to guess what some of these are. So let me know what you think investment A is, what B is, what C is, D, etc. So persons have been guessing from in the community group. I found it hilarious. So let me know in the comments what you think. Somebody said E is Trans Jamaica. But let's see. So guys, let me just tell you, this is my entire portfolio. This is not just stocks, right? And I'll give you some time there to figure it out. So I'll start with real estate. I sold our first investment property this year. I had it for 2 years. We were able to net a 25% return on the investment after fees. We've had it for 2 years. So we bought it in December 2021. We sold it late 2023. We got the funds this year. And we have no plans to purchase real estate. And the reason for that is it takes too much capital. So based on how much we're able to get from the market now in terms of capital gains, in terms of dividends, we've made the decision not to have any real estate added this year. Now, if something comes up that's extremely attractive, we're not going to say no to it. But at least for now, we're going to keep cash and focus on stocks, focus on maybe some investment opportunities like, private equity, etc. But as far as real estate is concerned, one, we believe that property prices are really high. And two, we believe that it takes a lot of capital to maintain a real estate property, at least for now, right? So that's that one. So the very first part of my portfolio is my pension, right? So because of me wanting to ensure that, so when you work for a company, there's a very good chance that you have an opportunity for the company to match your pension. So what I'm doing here is essentially doubling my 5% by ensuring that I am participating in a pension, right? So when you do 5%, most companies will match that 5%. So I'm essentially doubling my investment here, right? So if this allows me to do 10% throughout the year, I'll do that. I can go up to a maximum of 15% and the company does 5%. But a pension is 5% of my overall investment portfolio in terms of value. And then, of course, this is really long term. I have personally more confidence in my ability to invest versus a pension. But of course, the fact that my employer is going to match this 5%, it's no nonsense for me. It's common sense for me to do that, right? So there's that one, simple. If anybody have any questions, you can let me know, but that's a simple one. My crypto portfolio is currently at 8% now. If you remember, if you've been following us for a while, I mentioned when I first started investing in crypto, I don't remember the initial amount, but my crypto portfolio went down 95%, right? That was when Bitcoin first ran up to 17,000, then it went all the way down to 3,000. That almost wiped me out, right? I held it though. I didn't sell the portfolio. Ethereum is my largest position. Now I have about 9 cryptocurrencies. I'm only planning to keep Ethereum. So shortly after this video, I'm going to sell everything else and only hold Ethereum. I first bought Ethereum at $450, and I think it's over $3,000 now. So I'm already up significantly on that. I won't share how many units I have, but it's been a good investment for me, and it's only been 7 years. So for it to grow almost 1,000%, I think that's great for the time, right? All right. Next is cash. So I have 14% of my current investment portfolio in cash. Now, this is a very deliberate investment strategy for me. I'm always keeping cash. So usually I'll keep 10%, but again, I took profits recently, and I'm sure this cash will be deployed very soon because it's a considerable amount of cash, and I want to be able to put it in something. But if you know me, then you know this time of year, end of year, is not when I make purchases. I'm going to wait a little, see how the new year shapes up, and then I'll decide on what I'm going to do early January, early February. All right, so there's cash. It's a part of my asset allocation strategy, and it allows me to take advantage of opportunities at the start of the year. And I do have a fair amount in foreign exchange. So the revenues that I generate, for example, from my LinkedIn Learning, from other sources that are in USD, I try to keep them in USD as long as possible, and I'll only liquidate that if it's some personal goal that I want to attain. I see my wife in the comments. If she wants to go on vacation, then we may use the USD for that. But in general, we're saving in USD, not in JMD, to ensure that it at least maintains its value. All right. So before I move to the next part, I'm going to look at the comments here to see if there are any questions, what persons are saying. So limitless, just easy, right? I am ready for the correction for sure. So let me go from the start. It's actually quite a bit of comments here. So Limitless thinks it's all Trans Jamaica. I mean, we'll see. Sean says this one is gonna be juicy. Okay, all right. Fitzroy, I see you. So Wigton is interesting, right? I was speaking to one of my clients about Wigton today. It's interesting is all I'll say. Interesting, right? Jamaican Express, what's up? I don't have 100 million shares. If I had 100 million shares, I probably would not be going live on YouTube, honestly. I don't think so. Hey, Chris, what's up? Kevin Campbell. Well, I mean, if you really need help as a beginner, you should join our investment challenge. It's our monthly investment program, and you'll be able to learn everything that you need to learn and get the confidence you need to make wise investment decisions. Julian says Trans Jamaica, Image Plus, Dolphin Cove, Tropical, and RPL. Wow. I can't comment. Limitless thinks he's gonna see billions. Okay, so most of these comments are okay. Let me go to these in terms of what you guys are invested in: stocks and bonds, stocks and mutual funds, stocks here. Okay, so for those of you invested in bonds or mutual funds, let me know why. All right, so after this, I'm actually going to go live in our community group. So because this is going to be a short video, this is going to be maybe a 30-minute video at most, and I'm going to go over to our community group. So I'd love to hear about those who are investing in bonds, why, and those who are invested in mutual funds, why. All right, what is my thought on Cygnus Credit? So Nicholas, this is not the right video for this question. Any of the other weekly videos, I can answer this one, but not today, unfortunately. So I see some guesses there. Or we'll say enough of the suspense. Okay, so good. Great question here. So what was the property and why did we sell? Okay, so this was an apartment in New Kingston, and we purchased, and what we saw, or the issue that we had, was a couple of things. So first, it was an apartment complex. So we we expected there to be some maintenance, but this particular apartment that we bought, the minute we actually got the keys for the property, they had like a strata meeting or one of those meetings with all the owners, and they told us, okay, starting next month. So we got the keys in December. They had the meeting in January. February, we had to start paying cess for them to do some repairs on the property. We're like, okay, cool, we paid it. And things just kept coming up, right? So we were, that was the first issue for us, because I think the cess was like 4 to 6 months. There was maintenance cost. There was a problem for us to find a tenant for what we needed to in order to cover the mortgage successfully, right? So we weren't breaking even on the mortgage. We're actually making a loss, but we looked at it as, okay, maybe over time we can increase the rent to get there. So we're willing to shoulder that for a little bit. And then things got worse in terms of us. So we had a really great tenant, almost a perfect tenant, paid us on time, paid us sometimes in advance. We never needed to do anything. So that was great. But then when that person moved out, we took a while to actually find another tenant. I don't know if it's the price. I don't know if it was how the market was at the time. We weren't sure, but we made a decision, and I'm happy that we made it when we did, to liquidate the property, take that cash, because when we did an assessment of the value, we saw where it went up maybe 30%, almost 40% from what we paid for it. So we're like, well, if we sell now, we get cash in our hands, we're able to use that cash, and you know, it prevents us from having the cash outflows each month. So we made an investment decision, and I think we made the right one. And yes, it was a property with a mortgage. And okay, I see you guys talking about the pension there. Wow, a lot of comments here. Okay. Sean is asking, was it stocks alone that gave you the ability to buy the property? If yes, yes. So we started investing in stocks in 2017, and we actually had enough to, so when I just started investing, I was investing aggressively. So 40, 50, 60% of our income was actually committed to investing. After a while, my wife said, no, she needs to be able to enjoy the money that we're working for. So I said, okay, fair. So we scaled that down to maybe 10, 20, 30%. We had another business at the time, which was generating great cash flow each month. So we're able to invest the proceeds of that company. And so we're able to build up a sizable portfolio quite quickly, right? So within the first 2 years, our portfolio was between $500,000 to $2 million, but we were able to grow that significantly since. And so at some point we had enough to pay a deposit. So we sold the stocks in 2021 to pay the deposit, pay closing costs, everything. So yes, it's the stocks, Sean, that allowed us to purchase the real estate. So so the question is, was I investing in JSA alone? No. So I own stocks in the US markets as well as Jamaica. I'll show that soon. I'll show you that. So let me continue from here. Thanks for all the questions, guys. I didn't expect so much. So let me finish the video first, see if I can wrap up with the questions, and then take it from there. So next we have private equity. So we took the decision 2 years ago to make a private equity investment, our first at the time. This is a company that we have great expectations for. And so we thought we were ready at the time, after investing in stocks for a number of years, to start looking at opportunities outside of the stock market. Because the truth is, when it gets to the market, it has had a considerable amount of growth already. So what we're trying to do is invest in companies that are a little bit earlier. Now, it does have more risk. I want you guys to be aware of that. And it's different when you're investing privately, right, than publicly. Publicly, you get statements every quarter, you get certain disclosures, there are certain standards. Privately, you're the amount of disclosures you get is really determined by how that business is managed. And when you make the investment, due diligence will take it to a certain point, but it's still extremely risky when it's private equity, right? So I want you guys to bear that in mind. It's something that you have to be investing in the long term for. It's not something that you can say, hey, you invest now and in a year the company is going to IPO. You do not know that. So it is risky, but it's something that I believe we're ready for. We know business well, we know investing well, and it's not guaranteed, but I think the upside is worth it if we're able to get to that point. And so we thought it made sense to do that, and we actively look for those opportunities. So persons will send me proposals, reach out to me, ask if I'm interested to invest. We meet with them, we look at their proposal, we look at the financials. If it makes sense, then we have our lawyers look through it, we do our analysis, then we determine from there. So that's how we approach this. And unfortunately, I can't share the details, but if you should ever see a company list and you see me on the top 10, then it's probably that company. So that's the private equity piece. Next is our stocks, right? So this is the final piece. That's the big piece that everybody saw. So 49% of my investment capital goes into stocks. Trans-Jamaica, which is no surprise to everybody, is our largest position on the JSE. And that was a very concerted decision. That was a decision that I made back when, so I've been saying this to Renee for years. I'm like, we need to just sell all of our stocks and buy Trans-Jamaica. And she's like, no, we shouldn't do that. We had that back and forth for a while. And then we shifted in terms of concentration at some point in 2023. And so our average cost is pretty low for that one. And we've been getting dividends pretty much since IPO. And Microsoft, for those of you who didn't know, I worked at Microsoft Jamaica for almost 5 years. And so I was a part of the team there. I know the business well. I know their services and products very well. And so I'm more confident having most of my money in my US portfolio in that stock. And so those are my two largest positions. I'll show a breakdown of it on the next slide. But let me see a question here. Okay, so this is a great question from Limitless. Do I regret buying the property versus Trans-Jamaica? No, because we did still make 25. And so we netted a few millions, right? So that was great for us. For just 2 short years, 25% I think is great for us. And so no regrets. And I don't think you can have regrets in terms of investing, because it's only the future that tells you whether or not you're right. Orville, just cool, huh? It's cool. So and I have a bachelor's in IT degree from UCC. I don't remember what they're called now. I think University of the Commonwealth. I think they changed their name. So how I have more position in stocks than real estate. Real estate prices are through the roof. So here's the thing, Sean, and go back and watch the video. So I removed the property that I'm living in right now. I removed that from the portfolio because the property that I'm living in, I'm not considering it an investment. And the stock portfolio is actually very close to the value that we paid for. Well, do I want to say it that way? It's significant. Yes. Thanks, Simone. University of the Commonwealth Caribbean. There you go. Okay. All right. So let me do the breakdown of this stocks portfolio. So in the stock portfolio, I have 6 stocks in total. I remember my recommendation is 4 to 6. So I have six stocks, 4 on the JSE, 2 in the US markets, So I have 2 dividend stocks, 1 growth stock, 1 value stock. So based on how I invest for 3 things. I invest for dividends first, then I invest for growth, and I just have that in 1 stock right now that I'm expecting to see significant growth. And then I have 1 value stock. This value stock is a blue chip company that I'm expecting to do big things over the next few years. And on the US markets, I have 2 stocks. So Microsoft is one of them. And then I have another tech company that I'm expecting again to do big things. And so that's my stock portfolio. And so I'm just gonna do the overall recap in a few slides. But I wanted to talk a little bit about Microsoft here. So Microsoft for me is a long-term hold. So I reinvest dividends. So at this point, I've accumulated a reasonable amount of shares, not the target that I wanted, but I have a fair amount, and dividends are paid quarterly. Now the yield is not the most attractive, but I get somewhere between, let's say, $50 to $100 a quarter. I reinvest those dividends, and this has been slowly accumulating over the last few years. I've owned this stock for about from 2016, right? 2016, 2017. So I've owned it for 7+ years. So when I first started buying, it was about $48 or $58, somewhere around there. And so it's now at $430 as at the point of this video. So that to me was a great lesson in terms of just investing for the long term. You've seen the last, so this is a snapshot of the last 5 years. So 5 years ago, which was right around the time I actually left Microsoft, the share price was, I think, about 120, 130. And again, it has grown since, right? So yes, Humble Boss, I've actually taken profit multiple times. I've taken profit at least 3 to 4 times. Actually, we sold a big chunk of these shares to do a couple of transactions, both on the JSE and otherwise. So yeah, it has more than paid for itself in terms of an investment. And then of course, this one is not news to anybody in terms of Trans-Jamaica. So Trans-Jamaica for me is a long-term stock as well. It's likely going to be in my portfolio for a very long time. The amount that I have will vary depending on what's happening, but it will likely be there for a while, and it's long-term for me. Dividends are reinvested when possible. It's not always possible, because in moments where we don't have enough cash, we may choose to use the dividends, but what we don't do is compromise the overall position in terms of what we have. So we may use the dividends and not reinvest, but at the very least, we have a minimum number of shares that we have that we don't go below. And so that's that. And then finally, this is the overview for those who are just joined. This is my entire investment portfolio. So 5% in pensions, that is matched by the company that I work for. Cash is 14%. That's used for investment opportunities and just to maintain flexibility. Who knows? I may do something with that very soon. Crypto is 8%. That's not likely to change in terms of what's in there, but I am going to sell everything and just leave Ethereum there. I'm not interested in Bitcoin at this point. Ethereum to me is a little bit more of where I think the utility lies. I'm not seeing a practical utility for Bitcoin, so that's why I don't hold Bitcoin directly. 24% is our private equity portfolio. And so we look to add to that more than we do any of the other areas outside stocks. So if we see, for example, an opportunity for a private equity investment, we'd probably take that once it passes our due diligence stage. And 49% of our investment portfolio is in stocks. And the cash would likely be deployed to stocks first, and then will flow to the others based on how things go. So that's it. Hopefully this is oh. Guys, let me know if you have any questions, because I'm seeing some things here. So okay, then I'm happy you asked this question, because there's a reason why. So I was discussing this video with my wife, showed her the presentation, and I said, should I say the specific stocks? And she said no, because persons may want to copy your specific portfolio, and that's why I only share the largest position. So I wouldn't say copy it. You may want to copy the strategy, sure, but don't copy the specific investments, because you should invest based on your personal goals, your time horizon, and your risk tolerance, right? So I think you should join our investment challenge. We teach you how to invest, how to build your own portfolio, and to invest in a way that's meaningful for you, right? Let me see. Jamaican Express says, I split 40% Trans Jamaica, 20% Trans Jamaica USD. Okay, cool. So where's the other 40%? Trans Jamaica to $200. So here's the thing. I do believe that Trans Jamaica will be at least over $10 in the next 5 years, right? And if I'm right about that, I'll be very happy. And so that's my expectation. Have I ever tried trading? Trading Works, is that a platform, or is that Trading View? I know a platform called Trading View. I'm not sure. Trading. So please rephrase that, CJ8002. Limitless is asking, isn't Bitcoin the backbone of crypto? Without Bitcoin, do you think Ethereum would exist? I wouldn't say it's the backbone. Yeah, so Bitcoin is expensive, both from the nominal sense and both the resources that it takes to even mine it. I'm not a fan of Bitcoin, honestly. I believe in Ethereum. I believe in the application of Ethereum, but I don't see a practical application for Bitcoin, and therefore I'm not an investor in it. So Wayne, I do not have Bitcoin shares. I do have I have Ethereum, I have Ripple, I have ADA, I have some others, and I'm only going to, well, I may keep Ripple and ADA, because I do have a large amount of units of ADA, and it has grown significantly. But not interested in Bitcoin at all. Then to join the community, the link is in the description of this video over on YouTube. So look in the description, you'll see a link to join. Sean is asking, am I bullish on Trans Jamaica, meaning I'm still buying or just holding? So right now, at the point of this video, I'm holding. When the opportunity presents itself, I buy. Nikki's asking, how do I join the investment challenge? Click on the link in the description where it says investment challenge, and you'll see the details for it. We have about 60 slots left in the investment challenge. So the investment challenge has a limited capacity. So we have our limit is 100 people. We have 40 persons in it now. When it gets to 100, we're going to close it off for a while. So if you're interested in joining, Nikki, you want to join now. All right. Fitzroy is saying, remember to do the portfolio starting with 100K. Okay, so what Fitzroy is talking about, so in the same community group, I showed 3 video ideas I was planning. This video actually won the vote, so that's why we're doing it now. I'll do another poll shortly after this for the next video that the community wants me to do. So it is the community voting on the videos that I'm doing. That's the benefit of the community. We'll likely be doing it that way for a while, so you'll get to vote on which videos we do if you're a member of the community. So yeah. Rashane is asking, in terms of stocks, what are the specific industries? So you know Trans Jamaica is there in terms of infrastructure. I can't share the other industries. It'll be too obvious. Can I say tourism, retail, and energy? Hopefully I didn't give away too much. I see Renee looking at me right now. Okay. Jean said if Transjamaica hit over $10, I'm retiring for sure. Exactly. Right. I wouldn't say retire, but I'm good. I'll be good. Transjamaica is probably the greatest stock to hit the market, and we're so blessed to have it at this price right now. I wouldn't say the greatest, but it's up there. It's up there for me. The tech stocks on the US market is easy to trade simply because it works. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So I haven't traded on the US market yet, but I plan to, for sure. Yeah. It's being pushed for sure. Orville, no, I think Orville is in the queue waiting at $50. I saw a $50 order, right? Chris saying I gave away too much. I mean, I try to be as transparent as I can while respecting the agreement I have with my wife, while considering what FSC allows me to say. So those are my three considerations, right? I want to be transparent. I want to respect the agreement that I have with my wife in terms of protecting the state of our finances. And I want to ensure that I'm not breaching any FSC rules, all right? All right, so LE.A.R.N, D Cove and Ripple. LE.A.R.N, great company. Dolphin Cove, great company. RPL, amazing company, right? Give my talk on Jamaica Broilers. CPJ Wisinko is great. Season's greetings, LGI. Season's greets. Oh yeah, it's New Year's Eve, right? So, all right, everyone. So I'm going to exactly, Harold. Thank you. So guys, I'm going right over to the community group now. Feel free to click the link in the description, jump over to the community group. Right now, I'm going live over there so we can talk, and maybe I can share a little bit more over there than I'll share here. So if you're interested in being a part of that conversation, click the link in the description, sign up for our community, join, and let's talk. So I'll be talking about some 2024 investment lessons over there. If you're watching this on the replay, you can check out the recording, but I'll be going over the community group to talk about that. And yep, that's it. So I'll pause for a second for any other questions. And yeah, I'm inviting everyone who is watching this, regardless of platform, to join our investment community. The Real Pitcher Man is asking my thoughts on Wigton. This is not the right forum. The Real Pitcher Man, ask me over the community group, and I'll share my thoughts over there. And yeah, please like the video. This is the most persons we've ever had on a live stream, 143 persons. That's great. So Orville said, so what happens if the members of the FSC are in there? Well, I mean, the group can be audited for sure. I don't mind that. So I'll share the link for the investment group. So LGI community, and yeah, so you're free to join me over there. It is going to be a live that we can accommodate up to 200 persons. So if everybody from the live stream joins, we'll have about 80 spaces left. So join us over there. We'll see you soon. Join the investment challenge. I'll talk about it some more over there as well. So final question, and then I absolutely have to go. Are you a believer in flipping stocks or day trading? I'm a believer in taking advantage of investment opportunities that are carefully thought out and well executed within your skill set. So I don't necessarily have an issue with day trading. I think if you have an opportunity to buy something for $1 and sell it for $1.30 in the same day, why not? What I don't think that you should do is invest with a short-term mindset. I don't think you should invest with impatience. So I have no problem with somebody day trading or quote-unquote flipping, but I do have a problem with persons buying out of fear and attempting to flip when they don't know what they're doing, all right? Question: if someone is to pay a certified stock advisor on how to grow their portfolio, where would you find them? I would say to that person, join our investment challenge, learn how to do it yourself. Then you can work with an advisor in terms of helping you maybe fill in some blind spots. But I'm a 100% advocate of investing for yourself. And I do not think that you should rely solely on an advisor for your investment decisions. Nobody's going to care about your investment future more than you. Right? All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, join our investment community, and I'll see you again real soon.
Learning is the key to successful investing. And who doesn't want to invest in some way?
Here at L.E.A.R.N Grow Invest, we focus on financial education, all with the aim of sharing our knowledge on personal finance, investing, and building wealth. We do this on the foundation of our faith in God.
If a more holistic approach is what you need, check out our Grow Faith-based financial coaching program.
Find out more about us at learngrowinvestclub.com
and follow us on all social media platforms at Learn, Grow, Invest. Learning is the key to successful investing. And who doesn't want to invest in some way?
Here at L.E.A.R.N Grow Invest, we focus on financial education, all with the aim of sharing our knowledge on personal finance, investing, and building wealth. We do this on the foundation of our faith in God.
If a more holistic approach is what you need, check out our Grow Faith-based financial coaching program.
Find out more about us at learngrowinvestclub.com
and follow us on all social media platforms at Learn, Grow, Invest.